shit.
Check this out.
Perfect.
Champion, the way of the warrior, champion eyes, get back up, my spirit cries.
But you're a well-rounded warrior. You keep on fighting. That's what I am. Well-rounded warrior. I say for me, I've been passed over with my family, my fans, so-called family, some so-called family members, some friends, and etc. Pass over me. They feel that I'm not even there, and I used to accept it as I'm gonna prove something to you. Nah, that I have to understand when I get older is what I am. And I have to understand that when I'm moving of a certain space of my life to strive to do better, not that many people are going to understand your vision. Not many people is refused to understand the growth of your vision, of your self-vision. The growth of your vision help some.
You ain't lying.
Hey, good evening. Welcome back. My channel is the Underrated Doctors. Yours truly, the #1 grinder. This is a special, underrated boxing talk. Number 31. We got the one and only Clarence Mcclain up in the piece. We got the special guest in this piece right here. I ain't gonna say the name yet to a few seconds, but if you want to, if this is what I'm saying, like this, please participate. Please sub to me. Hit the bell twice so you can get it right. Also, please share this out. Hit the like button. So this is what we going to do. We're going to get this thing started right. Boom, like that. We're going to introduce yourself first, Brother Clarence Mcclain. I can't hear you, Clarence. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Unmute your mic. Oh, he got took himself. Well, anyway, introduce yourself, my brother, please.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Nate Campbell. The Galaxy Warrior is what I was called when I was fighting.
Yeah, that's right. You see in the flesh, the one and only, the great champ himself, Nate.
What's going on, guys? I find myself today wearing I just got my Hall of Fame ring replaced, and I'm wearing it. It's like one of my guys was talking to me. He was like, God, man, that's a big ring. I'm like, yeah, man. I stopped wearing it for a while because I lost the other one, but now I'm like, I felt like wearing it today since I got it this weekend.
Mm-hmm. But I want to thank you so much We welcome you here. Thank you so much to take out your busy time to participate
Thank you, man. Thank
in
you for
this
having me, man.
conversation. I appreciate it. Don't let it be the last time here. We're going to get Clarence Mcclain up in the piece. Unmute your mic, Brother McClain. Well, until he fixed that and everything, tell us about the Hall of Fame in Florida, brother.
Oh man, the Hall of Fame was beautiful this year. Man, Antonio Tarver, Glenn Johnson, Jamil McClain, Danny Santiago, Danny Bronco. You know what? I'll show you guys. Hold on, let me show you something.
Okay.
I'll show you that. I do it every year. Every year I do this. Every year I do this. This is my man cave, so every year I do this. I get it every year. I get the one on the cork board. But I have too many pieces of artwork by this guy, Arcadio Castro. He does all the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame stuff. Yeah, and he also I think I'm probably first or second most guy who owns his artwork. Tony Tarver was inducted. Jamil McClain was inducted. Danny Sanchez was inducted. Frankie Randall was inducted. Marcel Clay was inducted, and my Danny Santiago was inducted. Let me get it over where you guys can see it. This is the big poster, and me and these guys, we're the stable mates or close training partners. Me and Tarver was see, what makes mine so cool is I don't have the original poster. I don't have the original because Jamil bought it this year, but I got it behind this poster, but Frankie Randall. So if I ever want to be ugly and just put it on eBay, I wouldn't do that though. Is eBay still a thing? Damn.
Yeah, it still exists from what I know.
Yeah, but me, Glenn, Danny been knowing me since I was an amateur. Me and Jamil were stable mates with John David. Me and Todd were stable mates with Buddy McGirt. So for me, it's really the last few years have really been a bunch of my contemporaries going in. Then my trainer Doc Williams was inducted as a participant. Doc was Doc Williams. Doc was a special guy to me. For any of you guys that watch me box, y'all wonder why I knew how to fight inside. This is who taught me to fight inside. This man taught me how to bang on the inside.
Wow.
He was a bad man. He fought Jimmy Bivens. I can give you a list of the guys he fought. He fought Archie Moore. He fought Harold Johnson. Yeah, the great Harold Johnson. He beat Charlie Burley. Come on, you historians. He's one of only 12 men, 11 or 12 men to beat Charlie Burley. He was 6'3", 175 pounder. Had hands the size of real baseball catcher's mitts. Didn't even make a mitt for this. Great guy, man. I wish y'all could have met him. Told the best stories. Once told me, let me tell you something. Shit, I fought Achimo 3 times. God damn it. Y'all ain't never fought nobody. Y'all always talk about who y'all fought. I fought Achimo 3. I beat Charlie Burley. I fought Harold Johnson. Shit. Yeah. I fought Jimmy Bivens. You went to running down the name. And you know you had him old dude. He was the polo. He was the polio athlete of the year one year. So Doc drug his right leg because it was shorter than his left leg. He was dragging that leg. He said, shit, I fought the best fighters of my time. I was a bad mother. Shut your mouth. Yeah. I said, okay. How you did with Archie Moore? I knocked him down one time in the 3 fights. I said, what happened? Shit, he got up. Yeah, the rest is history.
Oh, man.
So you had them old guys, man, who put you in your place, man.
Yeah, but you know, I'm gonna say this, and before I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna introduce you Clarence Mcclain. I'm gonna tell you, brother, from the bottom of my heart, you always been one of my favorite fights because
thank you, man.
You fought hard, And you was always to me. I don't care. I used to, I'm a rich from New York, so I'm rich from Brooklyn. I used to get in heated arguments and say, "Hey, Cameron couldn't fight, man. I'll fuck you up. You gonna terminate Cameron?" I said, "Do you see this? How he slipped the punches? The defensive fight. Where is you?" And I remember you fought somebody, and you was slipping, and you called the whoop. I want $1,000 now. I'm just thank you right now.
Probably was a guy from New York by the name of Daniel Alicea, who was a Puerto Rican kid.
Thank you. So what happened was, but I told people what I respect you so much that Brother Campbell, and I always want to tell you this. Thank you so much to stick up for us as a people, especially us as black men. I want to thank you so much that because for me, for a person come up in Brooklyn, New York, and had to deal with certain things and this franchise and stuff. Yeah, stop and frisk and stuff like that. You was one of the few fighters that was out there talked about stop and frisk. That was not sexy back then. It was not sexy back then. You were talking about the masculinity of us as black men. It was not sexy back then that standing for your rights and everything. Talk about social things.
I'm glad you love me because I lost a whole bunch of money because I could actually speak pretty well for a Southern boy. I could turn this Southern vernacular off and I can get downright proper. But that didn't make no difference, as my mom said. As my grandmama, as my dad would say, my dad would always say this. My dad said, "I don't give a damn how good you talk. When it's all said and done, you still got this." He said, when it's all said and done, this is still who you are. He would do that to me, and I'm like, see, a lot of people don't understand something. I'm from the South in Jacksonville. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, Duval County. Home of real good old fashioned racism. You still they were still calling you the N-word, and I ain't talking about nigga. I'm talking nigger.
Right.
I often remind people that I'm in the, like it or not, they signed the act, the Voter Rights Act in 1965, the Equal Rights Act and all that. I'm in the first generation of black folk in my family that can literally walk through the front door and not go through the colored entrance. It ain't been that long. I'll be 50 in March. It ain't been that long. Think about what I'm saying. I'm 49 and I am in the first class, the first generation, born in 1972, 7 years after they signed the bill. And that meant when I started walking into the front door, it had only been around by 2-3 years. Mm-hmm. I never know what it was like to go through the colored entrance. My dad did. My grandmother did. A lot of my older cousins did. They were born when they had to go through the back door. I am the first generation of people that didn't have to do that. My dad, to make sure I understood where I came from, my pop took me downtown Jacksonville and showed me every colored entrance sign there was downtown Jacksonville. I lived a block away from it. If you walked across Broad Street in Jacksonville on Church, every place there had a colored entrance. Mm-hmm. And my dad showed me those entrances just so I would understand what it was, how much privilege that I had over him. And cats don't get that. So for me, I had to make the distinction between what was right and what was popular. So for me, I chose what was right. I can fight. I give a damn about what was popular. Mm-hmm. My dad had a saying. He said, "You can say what you want if you're willing to take an ass whooping for it, lay down your life for it." He said, "We don't raise." I'm gonna say it like he said it. We don't raise sisters down here. He said, "We men," and he meant that. He just meant that the way he said it. He meant it, you know. My dad said, "We men down here." He said, "Look here, come over here and stand right here, boy. Let me talk to you." He said, "The one thing you got to remember is move it. And that's what he called me, move it. Come here. Let me tell you something. Men are willing to stand up and die on their feet." He said, "The other ones wouldn't lay down on their back, on their stomach, or kneel down before their oppressor." Mm.
Yeah, my dad before I introduce Clarence, My late father's from Crawford, Georgia. You know where Crawford,
Ooh,
Georgia at. So yeah,
ooh,
exactly. And so he
ooh.
passed away 89. He had a saying like this. He said, son, it has to be a time you gotta stay
Yeah.
on your feet and be right. It ain't gonna be popular, but you gotta stand up and be right. Even you have to walk alone, you gotta stand up and be right. And we was not close, but that resonated with me because when you say that, I like, wow. And that's man's men. And you know, when you get older, it really applies right now that we in the fight, especially us as black men. Let me introduce the one and only brother Clarence Mcclain in the building.
What's going on, gentlemen? What's up? What's up? What's going on? Nate, my brother, what's going on, man?
What's going on, C? Nothing but had
Oh
a great time
man,
this weekend, man. Enjoyed having you down. Enjoy having you down, man. Enjoy having you in our space down here. Actually, one day should you saw the city.
hey, let me tell you something. What you did
Tampa's a
for
beautiful city.
hey, for anybody who's never, first of all, for anybody who's never been to Tampa, I don't know what the hell you doing when you go to Florida. Tampa is so beautiful that it is ridiculous. I damn near fell out
I took
just
I
to see
took
how beautiful Tampa is.
one of the guys that was inducted is family to me. His name is Terry Trakers. Terry just bought he just moved into his house, like 8,000 square feet. And Terry's a car collector. And so we joke and we tease. You know, Terry was my advisor, my promoter, co-promoter. And so we drive into this gated community. And at first, y'all, we see all these big houses. I'm like, just keep watching. So we pull up to Terry's house. Clarence is like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, he actually lives in this. And beautiful home. And I laugh at it because I told myself, oh, you gonna put me in the back room? He's like, shut up. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, oh man, that was you know what? And I've never, as long as I've been living, right, never been in that house, never been in that kind of neighborhood. So I'm saying, okay, what the hell is Nate doing? Where are we going? And when we pull up to the house, I'm like, yo, you gotta ask him, does he have any grateful prawns? Because I'm
What did I
like,
tell you? He's a a-hole, dude. He's the motherfucker that made it.
hey,
Beautiful home, beautiful person.
Yeah.
Once you see us together, as a matter of fact, we went and stopped by this place called Mel's. Mel's is a hot dog joint. It's a regular hot dog joint. They sell Chicago style dogs. We ordered the hot dogs. We took them, drove over, chili cheese fries, and we drove over, and we get there, and Clarence he really is expecting this uppity guy, but he didn't get that. So we eating hot dogs. We eating regular hot dogs on top of the island, shooting shit. Regular people, man. Regular people.
And look, Tiff, my wife leans over to me and she goes, "This is crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah." And we like, at first, I didn't even want to eat in there because I felt a little out of. I was like, we not eating in the projects. We, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was different, man. But you know what though? He didn't know me. He didn't know my wife. But he allowed us to be in the house, and it was a beautiful thing, and we felt comfortable. You know, his lady took us on the tour of the house, which that was unbelievable, man. It was just a great feeling. I really enjoyed myself down there, man. Definitely looking forward to next year.
And you know, it was so funny, brother Nate. You know, Clarence, he called me one a few times because I visited New York at the time he was down there. And he was down and he said, yo, you got to meet Nate Campbell, man. I said, that's my fucking hero. He said, "Yeah, man, he cool, man. He take us here and there." And I was mad at Clarence, man. I'm gonna catch you a bad one, man. He had me coming at it. But see, what's so important about it that even though that I wasn't down there, I was a little kid.
I'm a regular guy, man. I don't know why people don't get it. I'm a regular dude. I'm as regular as they come. I don't. I'm regular, man. I don't do anything. As a matter of fact, this is like my little man spot. Like the house being redone across the way. This is my man spot. Like I got records and TV and a bedroom up here, but it's like Terry's house but smaller.
Yeah.
And everybody's like because I'm single now, and I joke with Terry. I often tell Terry, I tell Terry that his girl is too good for him. And he'll say, "Yep." Hey, he said, I outlived my coverage. I outstated my coverage. And I feel like, dude, just because I told him I'm not getting married again until I feel like the woman I'm with is better than me. I think I'm too good for most women I've dated. And that's a joke I tell. Now, why don't you get married? I'm too good for her. I'm too good for her. And we tell that joke, and they're like, "No, I'm a regular guy. I do stand up comedy. I joke and I tease and I like to have a good time. But I do want us to understand something that Clarence. I think Clarence needs to. For me, Clarence has to understand that when he met me last year.
That was our first time. We actually met in 2018, but it was for a brief moment. So yeah, last year.
But we hung out the first time at Hall of Fame last November. I said, when you come back down here, man, just let me know, and I got you. So when
he kept his word though. He definitely kept his word. I thought he might have forgot, but when we got down there, we didn't have time to do anything. We were in the streets with him more than we were in our room, and my wife was just like, "Yo, listen, he's a real dude," because nobody else was gonna take us on a tour around Florida and St. Pete. He was the first person to do it, so we were grateful for that.
Well, it's, for me, man, like I say, man, I'm Southern. I believe in hospitality, and I wanted you guys to see. I want you guys to see the cool places to go. We actually went outside the city to a mall on the outskirts because I didn't know my boy wanted to go to Macy's. I don't want to go to Macy's. I want to go to Ross. And went to Ross, and then it still ended up going to damn Macy's.
Hey, Underrated.
I said, I'm going to spend $80 on a shirt. I'm going to one time.
If you would have saw this mall, it looked like a damn castle. And everything about their mall was better than our mall. I'm like, Jesus. Like, I told Tiff, if I run away from you, I swear this is where I'm going. It's crazy. It was a beautiful mall, man. The whole city was just beautiful to me, man. And I was like, you know what? If I
forgot it
was yeah, it was. And that's another thing that made the trip so great because it was Father's Day week, and that was the best Father's Day I've ever had. So I'm definitely looking forward again to next year. Definitely looking forward.
Next year should be cool, man. You gotta come down for the announcement in Fort Myers, where you can see the actual everything on the walls.
That's what Steve was telling me. Mr. Steve was telling me the whole time. He said, "Your wife have to come to Fort Myers. Come to Fort Myers." And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, what? Yeah, man, you have to man. Fort Myers it's a small city. It's not big. But it's the cool thing about Tampa is it's close to so much stuff. It's an hour from this, an hour from that, 2 hours from that. And for me, I enjoy it. Being a fighter who grew up in this area, being a fighter that grew up in this area, I know the area well. The cool thing was when I went to the Hall of Fame, the first guy that I ever knocked unconscious that's in a fight was taking the pictures was doing all the photography.
Wow.
That's how close Floyd is. And we fool with each other to this day. He'll text me, man, follow like this, what you call them. You better join this or this, that, and the other. Subscribe to my page before I do something to you. So I'm like, wow, really? So we're threatening each other now. 20 years later, we're still threatening each other. 20 plus years later. 24 years, almost 25 years later, you're still threatening me. You know? His wife, I'm going to give y'all one. I'm going to have to get y'all in with Lewis Hunt. Lewis Hunt's wife just spoke to me for the first time in 24 years. In November. No,
wow.
2019. The first time she spoke. No, last year. I think that the first time she spoke to me. I said, you know who this is? She said, no. I said, this is Nate. I said, don't you hang up on me. And her husband has had my back on Facebook on many a battle. Has cheered for me. Has I'm just saying, we get along. And I don't think I have any guys that I fought that I'm like, I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any.
Yeah. So let me read this first, and again, welcome. I'm gonna read this on the thing, and we're gonna get into the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame. Let me read this out. Come and join real conversation with the number one grinder. Us as the righteous ones, individually, let's make a change within ourselves and genuine being there for each other. We got. Just remember that, y'all. We got. This is as you see it right there. You see it. That's right. You see the great, our champ, the great Nate Campbell in the piece, and then you got the one and only Clarence Mcclain of McClain Productions. Also got No Duck Down Productions, and also you got the one and only number one grinder. Nobody don't grind like me. Remember that. Nobody don't grind like me. And I want y'all brothers to get into it about the Florida Hall of Fame. And everybody else, I will mention y'all in a few minutes. TS Boxing Talk, Bruce Goes, Sister Nisa. Thanks for coming, and McClain Entertainment Network. Thank you so much, brother. Don't let it be the last time. To come in. Please come back. And I'm just gonna leave it to y'all. Let's go. Here it is.
Oh man. Well, first of all, when you go into the Hall of Fame, the first thing you think of is, okay, I'm going to be around guys who used to box or they still box. And you hear the names, but at the same time, you don't know who's going to be there. So the day that I get there, right, it's a funny thing. I thought the weigh-in was going to be in the hotel we were in, and it wasn't. So, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to reach out to my brother Nate. I'm like, Nate, where's the weigh-in? He's like, yo, it's going to be at Ramada. It's where I'm at. But then, he came. I think we got in the cab. We got in the cab over there. We came in the Uber, and then we went back. But see, while we're at the Uber,
how much was Uber? $15?
Huh?
How much was Uber? About $15? $20?
Yeah. It was about that price range. But Tiff, she didn't care. She was like, listen, I want to get to the weigh-in. I want to see Nate. So I'm going to do that. Because, we get there, everybody's, I'm saying what's up to everybody. Somebody in the back happens to get on the mic and goes, shout out to Riddick Bowe. And I'm like,
I'm going to call you back.
I'm like, Riddick who? They're like, yeah, Riddick Bowe's in the building. I'm like, and it shocked me.
Riddick came with me. Riddick came to see me.
I didn't even listen. If you would have told me that, I probably would have been like, you're tripping, Nate. To see him back there, that blew me, man. That was like the highlight like the whole Hall of Fame. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no disrespect to all the other parts of the Hall of Fame, but to see Riddick, Big Daddy Bo, I almost lost my mind. And then for us to go out to eat together, that's what really made me lose it. I lost it.
Riddick, man, Riddick, my dude. All we do is talk trash to each other.
Hey, I told Underrated, I said, Riddick is funny because as we're getting out the car, we go into the restaurant, we're talking, and Riddick is like, you know why me and Evander's so cool? And I said, why? He said, because me and him made a bet. So I go, well, what's the bet that you and him made? He said, I told him if he could keep my name out of his mouth, I'll keep my foot out his ass.
Damn. Damn.
I said, Riddick, he said, honestly, that's the bet that we made. And that's a bet that we honor still to this day. I told him that. I said, God damn.
Hey, and the cool thing about it, I get to be friends with everybody. I'm friends with Mike. I'm friends with Riddick. I'm friends with Evander. I'm friends with what's the big dude? Other big dude from England.
Lennox Lewis.
Lennox. I get to be friends with everybody.
That's my guy. I like Lennox.
Yeah.
I like Lennox.
Everybody knows how close I am to Roy. But look how cool I am with everybody else.
Yeah, Roy. I'm a Roy fan to the day I leave here, man. I love some Roy, and that's why I went to Tarver, right? Before we got outside, I went to Tarver, and I said, Tarver, you know I'm mad at you, man. And he said, for what? I said, because you had no business doing that to Roy. You know what he said to me? Roy ain't had no business getting in the ring with me. Hey, that Tarver's something special, boy.
Hey, man, Tarver had to believe in him.
Yeah. You know,
I often tell guys that I had to learn that. Tarver had to believe in him. For me, I had to understand it because I had to learn. I got to believe in me because no one else is.
Yeah.
No one believes in me.
You know what? The crazy thing with me is I told my wife this the other day. I said, I remember watching Nate on Boxing After Dark, right? And that was the favorite thing to look at when you knew Boxing After Dark was coming up. But I never knew Nate's name. I just knew him when I seen him, and every time he had a fight, I was interested. But it was never, to me, there was never a boring fight with you. Like, I don't remember any boring fights. I remember the fights always being interesting. Watching you, watching Roy, watching Junior Jones. I just grew up.
Junior, my dude. Junior, one of my close friends to this day.
Yeah, watching you, watching Pernell Whitaker. Y'all were just some different type of dudes. I don't know what it was about y'all, but y'all made the sport of boxing. Y'all made the sport of boxing great, and you made people want to watch it. It wasn't no backing down. You guys didn't say, well, I don't want to fight because I got a headache, or I didn't caught this and caught that. Sometimes you guys would have injuries that we wouldn't even know about when y'all.
You fought my whole career with a pinched nerve.
Huh?
I fought my whole career with a pinched nerve in my back.
You see what I mean?
Right.
But then you got guys, not to get off the Hall of Fame topic because I want to get back to that, but then you got guys like Teofimo Lopez that says, I can't fight because I caught the COVID.
Oh, Nate. I got names that got fighters that is dubbed. You want to hear them?
Yep.
Telefino, I call him Telefucko. I do. I call him Telefucko.
Wow.
TC. Terrence Crawford, I just call him TC. Let me see. What else? Canelo. I just call him I call him the grandfather of cherry picking.
Boy, you better not say that around the Mexican people. They get mad. Am I echoing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hold on, let me plug my mic up.
Hey, he said you better not say that around the. Hey, He goes.
Yeah, Evo. Shout out to everybody, the ones that came in. Big through 24, Brother Seed, Brother Evo Sosa. Thank you so much. Thanks for showing up.
Salute everybody. Please smash that like button.
Eyes love to talk. If you new, Eyes love to talk. Please subscribe to my channel and be a participant. Thank you so much.
Smash that like button, y'all. Don't be scared. Smash that like button.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put the Cash App up there.
Hit that Cash App.
All right, guys. I think that's something. I think one of y'all got your cover too now.
What do you say?
One of y'all, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
one of y'all got your volume too loud.
That probably, you know what? That's probably me. So let me do it, and then you tell me. How's it sound now?
I don't know. It's a little bit echo. I hear myself.
You know what? You're gonna. If you hear anything, it's because there's cars passing in the streets. Because I live in a building. So it's the fire trucks and all that. But I got my window shut. But that's just how close I am to the fire department.
Oh, you're in New York. I understand you're in New York.
Yeah.
Okay. Before we continue, Evo also want to ask you a question, Brother Nate. He said, "Is it true that they really offered Nate $20K to fight Canelo?"
Yep.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And that's the way that let me tell y'all something. That's why I would always make statements I made. Because black fighters would say pennies. And I'm not mad with Al Heyman. Because Al Heyman helped a lot of guys get paid.
Y'all heard it yourselves. That's crazy, man. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, this boxing game is tricky, man. It's very, very, very tricky.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. It is. It is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Stuff like that has been going on for a while now, man. I want to ask you something though, Nate. Something I never got to ask you. Was there anybody at the time in your era, in your weight class, that you wanted to fight, but they wasn't trying to give you the time?
One Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Casamayor on the rematch. George Guzman, Marquez. I tried to fight. Nassim Hamed. I was 126 pounds at first. I tried to fight Eric Barrera, Marcus Barrera. I tried to fight all of them.
Hey, that's an impressive list that you just named.
And they could have all got that smoke, and they know it.
So they heard Nate Campbell, and they was like, nah.
They called me the freak. I was 5'7.5", 72-inch reach. I was strong. I could fight inside. I could punch you from the side. I get you out with one shot. And a lot of guys are like, oh man, look at where you ended up. I'm like, okay. I had a guy tell me one day, look at where I ended up. I said, I ended up unified champion of the world at 135 at 36 years old with 26 knockouts out of 37 wins. I fought everybody I could fight in the time. Hold on one moment, guys.
Wow.
Again, we welcome on my channel, the Underated Dark Yours Truly. We got the one and only, the champ, the great Nate Campbell.
We got. What time is it now? Because we know the champ.
8:45.
All right.
Yeah, but I was trying to fight everybody because you got to realize I knew that I only had a short time to get this money. So for me, it wasn't about picking and choosing.
So with Floyd's style, even back then, he was
But let me tell y'all, listen, Floyd got all the smoke. Because at some point, the one thing that had to happen was he was not the fight. And that's what I felt. It's not me feeling so bad about Floyd. See, it's easy for you. I would never. I'm 50 old. I didn't get to do this, guys. I didn't get to have a guy here and then do this. I had to go through that guy. Over. When you got to keep going through guys, I made this statement to somebody. Buddy McGirt wouldn't even let me spar with Arturo Gotti. He let Floyd fight him.
What?
Whoa.
What did I just say? I said in front of us. They wouldn't even let me spar with Arturo Gotti. They let him fight him.
Damn.
Hey, they said no. Who? Not the Galaxy Warrior.
All y'all gotta do is go watch a guy named Jeff Portis and put Jeff Portis and Hector Camacho Jr. talking about me in the gym. I hit Angel McFreddy gave 15 stitches, one shot. I did something that most guys my size could not have done. I stood toe to toe with Teddy Reed. Listen to what I talk. Teddy, run my bed or run his bed.
Oh man, hey.
So I don't argue with guys about accolades and all this, that, and other. I close my mouth. I listen to fools.
Yeah.
Yo, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button. Come on, y'all.
Smash that like button.
Smash it. Come on, y'all.
I'm curious to know all these guys that you just named, and they all were great fighters. What was it about you? I mean, I know, but what was it about you that just made them? What made them say, "Hell no"?
I had nothing to lose. Absolutely had nothing to lose. I absolutely had nothing to lose. There was nothing that you could have said to me that made me afraid of anyone. I've been shot at.
They say a fighter that has nothing to lose is a dangerous fighter.
And I was dangerous because I had nothing to lose.
But I think but I'm gonna say this, Nate Campbell, brother Nate, that people do not talk about this. You had a very IQ of fighting that you need to be acknowledged for that. No, they don't want to announce you for that, but I'm going to announce you. And then Bud Clarence did his own, but I want to announce you. You had an IQ because I see a few fights in your career for it. And there's people who say, "Oh, they can." We go, "Listen, you watch and see." He's studying, and watch the thing. He's going to flatten them out.
Because of Doc Charlie Williams. Can y'all hear me still?
Yeah.
Because of Doc Charlie Williams, it made it uncomfortable for most people because Doc taught me how to fight. Frankie Minutes taught me how to box. So once I learned to mix those two things together, it made it impossible for most guys to deal with me.
Yeah.
It made it impossible for them to deal with me. I was physically strong. You guys got to realize something. I was benching over 300 pounds at 128 pounds. I'm a brick mason by trade. I'm a carpenter by trade. I swing a hammer. These are my hands. Clarence, you know, to be true, this is 11 and a half ring.
Hey,
this is a 10 and a half ring.
You see Nate,
that's my ring thing.
You can look at Nate's height and you'll say, okay, he's not tall. Cool. But if you look at Nate's hands when he balls his fist, Jesus Christ.
Even Riddick cracked jokes about it. Riddick said, damn, he got a big hand for a dude. I forgot how big hand was.
Yo, even Tiffany looked at him and she was like, damn, he's not even that tall, but his hands are crazy. It's crazy. If he balls a fist up, you going night. That's
you gotta realize that the average guy when I shoot their hand, they was like, God, yes, it is what it is.
It is. Hey, but Nate, I thought about something. You take your late great trainer, right?
Doc.
take Doc, and you take you now. Now, say he's still here, you here, you in your prime. Give me one fighter you would have your eyes on right now.
Well, John David was my trainer. John David was the guy that brought it all together for me.
Yeah.
And I would fight Jesus Christ and a host of angels if John told me to. I mean that. I trust him that much. If John told me to run through a brick wall, I'm going. Because it's something on the other side he want me to have. And I trust him. I would me at 130, 126, 130, 135, 140. I'll be fighting. I'll be 47. I will start down at the bottom. I will fight Kate. I will fight Teofimo. No. I fight Ted. I would crush Lomachenko. I'll fight anybody 26, 30, 35. But I'd be wanting to hurt every one of them. And I fight them back to back to back to back to back. I wouldn't take a tune-up fight. If you ask me right now, if I can make 130 right now, I wouldn't take a tune-up fight. I'd come out and start fighting every one of them.
Oh, that's saying a lot because some people
right on the line. They're not, and my thing is, I don't think they're classically trained fighters. They're all in great condition.
Yeah.
But none of them are classically trained fighters.
Yeah.
I was schooled. When you watch me fight, you can see me stand in front of a guy, pick them shots off, hands around. Here's what a lot of people don't understand. I'm Southern. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hey, Evo Sosa, that was the worst pain I was ever in a fight. But I couldn't pull out of the fight because I'm not built like that. I fought Ortiz with a bulging nerve in my back.
Yeah.
But here's what people got to understand. For me, if you listen to me have a conversation, I'm Southern. I got a Southern drawl.
Yeah.
When I relax my vernacular like this, it's just me talking. But when you hear me stand up and speak in front of a crowd, I go ahead and speak the way I was taught to speak in college. But you don't hear me stutter, hammer. You don't hear me. You don't hear that. You're hearing me. I have 50 programs. Most of them at the top level. I don't have any brain damage. No memory loss.
No.
I was a classically trained fighter by a classically trained fighter. My trainer was born in 1920. Turned pro in the 40s. My other trainer was fighting in the 50s. was 50s and 60s. Was trained in the 40s. I came from old school fighters. And the only way they trained me was the way the old school trained. They would put their hands on you and show you what it felt like. I teach my little kids that way. I put my hands on my kids.
Yeah.
So these guys got physical conditioning guys. They got nutrition, and they on keto diets and this, that, and the other. Man, I ate grits and eggs. We fought. We fought.
Yeah.
You got to realize something. My first fight was at 147. I was 126 pounds. Let's talk about that. My first 9 fights was all knockouts. My 10th fight, I fought a guy from right there in New York City named Kano, and we fought. I beat him 4 rounds to 2.
I have a question I wanted to ask. What was your relationship like with Bob Arum?
Didn't have one.
Didn't have one. Y'all never crossed paths, spoke.
No need.
What did you think about Bob? Even though you didn't have a relationship with him, what you thought about him?
Probably the second or third best promoter ever. Because Don King is the best promoter ever do it.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. That's the man that took me, that promoted me to the world title.
Okay, well, how was you and Don's relationship? What was Don like? Because
I loved it. If I'd have known better, I'd have stayed with Don.
Yeah, because everybody has something negative to say.
I don't. Because the hindsight is 2020. I had to crack jokes with Don. I had to crack jokes with Don. I tell Don, Don, oh, look here, baby. We gonna make this thing work. I'm gonna make sure you get everything down before we get. We gonna split it right down the middle. 2 for me and 1 for you, but everybody go eat. And he just busts out laughing when I say that. He said, God damn what he said. And I just love Don King. I understood the job. Once I realized that Don King was all about business, that's what it was.
So how long you was with Don?
I was with Don about almost 2 years.
Okay.
And my thing is, I didn't know anybody.
What? So when the 2 years ended, what happened then?
I bitched more to complain till he released me. And as my mama said, I stepped out of the fire into the frying pan. I signed with Golden Boy, and let me tell y'all something. Golden Boy didn't care nothing about me. They don't care nothing about fighters that look like me. And I'll say that in their face.
We was hearing that too, brother Nate.
Right now, Nate, if you're gonna start a fire, you got to come on now with it.
First of all, it's on record that I said the Golden Boys. A lot of them guys around there was throwing the N-word around. I told people that years ago, and they said I was mad, I was this, I was that, and then all of a sudden the white guy tells you got the emails, and now I'm vindicated by the ones that heard me say it. But I've been telling you for years. You know, and it is what it is. You can't be mad. They don't. In all actuality, Golden Boy does not owe me anything. They don't owe any of us anything. It's a business.
Yeah. Absolutely. I didn't. You know what? And this is why people have to do their homework too, because that was something else I didn't look into. As far as you know, getting the Golden Boy, that was surprising because usually Golden Boy doesn't accept black fighters from what I was
saying. They brought me in to use me as an opponent.
Yeah. Because I believe, if I'm correct, I think they have one black fighter now. I don't know his name, but I know there's one black fighter.
And I guarantee you they ain't gonna I guarantee you ain't gonna hear much from him. Unless he knocks everybody out.
I haven't heard anything from them. I've just heard about them having them, and that was it. That's all I have not heard him. So, like you said, unless he starts knocking people out, we'll have to see what goes on from there.
I mean, but look. Here's our issue. We need to get to the realization they don't owe you anything.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't owe you nothing. Stop acting like they owe you something. It's a business. And the sooner black fighters start to realize this is a business, the better off they'll be. They'll live a lot longer, they'll eat a lot better. And our problem is we are so emotional. And man, anybody got time for that. Stop being emotional.
Yeah, you know, you're absolutely right. It's a business, and you know already that it's a business. So when something happens, stop acting brand new about it.
Right. I often say this here. Whenever I hear a black woman say she talk about racism and sexism, I look her in the face and I tend to say, shut your ass up, man. You don't know what racism is, and you damn sure sexism has been dead for black women in America when it comes to black men. Stop using sexism and black men in the same voice. Because we don't have the power to be sexist. We don't own those Fortune 500 companies to put you in. We can't be racist. They kill us in the streets at a breakneck pace. So stop telling that lie on us. And I don't care who don't like me saying it. And just in case you want to make sure who said it, it's me.
So, brother, I want to ask you a question. What's the difference of the fighters like yourself back in the days that know the business than the fighters right now that don't know the business?
Well, it ain't. I learned the business. I didn't know it. I had to learn the business. And I didn't just come out I didn't come out knowing this. See,
Okay.
I tell people all the time, Floyd Mayweather's supposed to be everywhere he is. He grew up with a family that's been in business. Only business his family ever been in was boxing. If he didn't make it, I'd have been upset. You know, think about it. His daddy was a fighter called Sidney Miller. His uncle was world champion. He been rubbing elbows with these people all his life. Think about it. What was he supposed to be? Ain't like he educated. I'm not saying that as a jab, it's a truth.
No, we just laugh because we hear it too. It's true.
I was just having this conversation with my father yesterday, and he said the same thing. He said that man may not be able to pick up a book and read, but he damn sure can count money.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm gonna ask you this question. A friend of mine posed a very serious question. He said, "This man that made all his money, but he got a fans only page."
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
I'm just going. I ain't got no fans only page.
Yeah, that seems to be a popular thing now that people are getting.
But ain't that popular? Let me tell you something. You don't let no motherfucker in your life, and you got that much money. You don't let nobody in your life. You got that much money. You don't.
Yeah. That's
I'm gonna leave that right there. You got that much money. You got somebody in your business.
Yeah.
Much as I like to scratch my ass.
Yeah,
Think about that. Much as I like to scratch my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to pitch Roy Jones reality show. Roy said, hell no. I don't know about got the business like that. I said he don't want to do it.
Nah.
There it is. You don't want to do it.
Everybody don't want you up in a
Ain't nobody got that one. And they were talking about paying my brother. My brother said, fuck no.
Hey, you know what, Nate? I started to tell you a couple days ago, man. You ever thought about doing like a Showtime special on your life, man?
I do. I want to, and I'm talking to some people about doing it. I keep joking with my daughter. I always say to my daughter, it's gonna look a lot better in the movie. And my daughter's like, whatever. I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna get Jada Pinkett to play you. I'm gonna get Tana to play you. I'm gonna get we're gonna get you all in there. My daughters be like, whatever. Like, I'm telling you, don't play with me now. And my daughter my daughters be like, whatever, Daddy, you be tripping. I'm like, I'm telling you, man, somebody want to hear about my sex.
Hey, that's gonna be cool when that happens. That's gonna be so cool. I'm
just regular, man. I mean, the cool thing about me being regular is that I live an extraordinary life. I made it my business. I mean, the guy Tito, the bald guy Tito, that was there with Danny Santiago. Tito's favorite thing to say is no matter how much fame Nick got, he still was the same guy that we remember sleeping in the front seat of his car. I never let it change.
Yeah.
I never let it change.
Yeah, and that's another thing I was concerned with because I said, you don't know how these guys are gonna act, or they're gonna act better than you. Because I've ran into some situations. I'm not gonna name any people, but I've ran into some guys, and I'm like, he is so freaking stuck up. Like, I couldn't get an autograph, a picture, or nothing. It's like the first time I seen Nate at the Barclays Center, right? And I'm like, damn, this is a dude I watched coming up. And I'm like, I don't want to approach him and ask for nothing.
Right.
Some people are just, like I said, I ain't going to name you fighters, but I ran into some people that were just hella shady. So when I came up to Nate, letting him know who I was, and, telling them I watched them and all that, and I got an autograph, which I still got this autograph today, and I always tell Tiffany, don't you touch that damn autograph. I've had that autograph for 3 years now. That means a lot to me.
I'm a regular dude, man. I made my mind up. I'm gonna call his name. I was an amateur.
Yeah.
I met Rochelle Wells, Vernon Forrest, who became like a brother to me, and Evander Holyfield at the same time. I was fighting as an amateur. I was my seventh amateur fight. I won the regional. I won the U.S. regional, Southeast regional with 7 fights. And I was going to the nationals. When I went to the nationals, I was 7-0, which is big for a smaller fighter. My daughters asked Holyfield for autograph. He wouldn't give it to him. And I later realized why he was like that. I got it. But my daughters never forgot it. And that touched something in my spirit. I said I would never not sign an autograph. And I felt like I was never too good for anybody. I feel like the people around me, they made me who I was. They helped to put me where I was. They paid my bills. So I made my business to always be a gentleman, always respect the people around me, and make sure that I was willing to sign every autograph. And I would stay and sign every autograph too. I wouldn't just sign one. I would sign every autograph.
Yeah, you did. I seen that when you were here in New York, because I remember after I got your autograph, another guy came up to me. He says, "Is that Nate Campbell?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "He just signed you an autograph?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, hell, man, I got to get me a marker, man. I'm going to get mine." I said, "You better go get it, man, because after a while, you know, their hands get tired from signing autographs all day." So
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it. And one of my guys was like, "Golly, man, you sign every autograph." I'm like, if there was 50 people in line, 100 people in line, 1,000 people in line, I'm gonna sign the autograph. Not because I think I'm all that, but because somebody took the time to ask for that. Here's the part that really hurt me. My kid's mom, my wife at the time, she was ripping up pieces of paper with an eyeliner.
Huh?
She wanted him to sign. She wanted her kids to have. He had just beat Tyson that second time. He was big. He had a burgundy Bentley. Never forget it.
Wow.
And my daughters wanted that autograph. And when he said no, I said, "Come on, let's go." He said, "I'll take a picture." I said, "They didn't ask you for no picture." My exact words are, "They didn't ask you for no picture. They asked you for autograph." And I made up in that moment. Many years later, we became real cool. And I told him, I said, "My daughter's mad with you this day." "Why?" And my daughter Jasmine, he was in my last fight. My daughter Jasmine walked up to him and told him, "Me and my sister been mad with you." Said da 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 da. And told him. She pointed up to him like this. She said, my daughter was so mad with him. If he'd have fought a Klan member, they'd have been pulling for the Klan member. They were mad.
Oh man.
They were hot. Because you never know how you influence other people. He was supposed to be the church boy. You understand me? You know, my kids were church girls. They thought that, and they found out that everybody ain't the same.
No, it's like when I was at the Hall of Fame and I had people wanting to take pictures and they realized who I was. Not to say I was famous. When people realized who I was, "Hey, we watch your podcast, you great. Can I take a picture?" What I look like saying, "Nah, I'm not taking no picture. Who the hell am I?" So for somebody just to recognize me in a state that I'm not from, I can't take the time to stop and take a picture of them. Listen, this is what
show some love, man. Be real with people.
I think when I was saying on Facebook, when you was there, Clarence Mcclain, with you, brother Nate, I had seen you on your Interact with each other. And I want you to explain to people why, especially us as a people, why it's so important that we develop relationships again in boxing especially as brothers, why it's so important to develop lasting relationships. Tell the people why it's so important.
Because we don't. Because we've been taught. Because we have been taught to be in conflict with one another.
Mm.
I'm in love with black people. I'm in love with black people. I don't care who knows. I'm in love with black people. I'm in love with black people, man. I'm gonna be that way. I had a dude tell me one time, two kids was out and they was going at it, and it was about to get ugly. But one of the guys like, man, such and so's out there finna fight. And I said, so? And I went outside and was talking to him. One kid was finna shoot the other kid. And I told him, I said, let me tell you something. You gotta know this here. If you kill him, they win. Because they get 2 for 1. I said, I love you enough to tell you the truth about yourself. I said, either you're gonna get to go home or you're gonna lay down and never go home. I said, if you shoot him and you kill him, they'll put you somewhere where your mama can't come get you. Forever. Or until they decide to put a needle in your arm. I say, just know, you got to know that you mean more to me than that. And everybody was like, man, I would never went out there. I say, that's why you ain't been put in the position I am. It's my job to save his life if I can. Ain't your job. That's why when you see me walk into a gym, I walk into a gym and I get the utmost respect from them guys. Because deep down inside, they know I care about them. And I mean that.
And let me ask you this question. Why other former champions like you have the mindset and love for our people as you do right now?
Being selfish ain't nothing new, man. Being selfish ain't nothing new. You gotta know, being selfish ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new about being selfish. Ain't nothing new. I mean, what y'all thought it was something that just happened 2 years ago? It's been happening. You gotta know.
Yeah.
And we've been taught to be against each other for so long. And now black men are in a position to not, we don't value each other's life no more. That's scary. That's scary. We don't value each other's life. I value your life. And don't get it twisted. I'll stop you where you stand. But if I can at all talk you down, I will. I value your life. I value the life of other black men, other black women. And that's the problem. We don't value each other's lives. We've been taught that our lives are worth less.
That's why
I love us.
There will never be another like Nate.
I love us.
So,
I don't hear that much for black men that say we value another man's life.
no.
Especially us as black men.
At 17, I was a different animal. 17, I was a different animal. 15, 16, 17, I was a different animal. And you know what? We gotta stop acting like we don't love each other. We gotta stop acting like we don't love each other. We gotta stop acting like we don't mean nothing. Because until we mean something to one another, we don't mean nothing to the people that's killing us in the street. We gotta stop killing each other. And I often say this: when we stop killing each other and start defending each other, they'll stop killing us the same day. I promise you that.
Just said that earlier to a friend of mine who was there.
Yeah.
And I said, the Black Lives Matter movement is cool and all, but let me tell you, we can't keep screaming that it matters, but then we out here killing each other. Perfect example. Yesterday, where I'm living at right now, a whole bunch of brothers get into an altercation about nothing that made no sense, but what they decide to do, instead of either just walking away and leaving the situation alone, guns were drawn, innocent people were hit.
Over a piece of property that you don't own.
Nothing. So now you
Now,
have
every last one of your life is over.
8 people around here.
And the system just won.
You know what the police say? Hey man, listen, we ain't got too much keep killing y'all. Hell.
Y'all do
We're doing it
y'all do
ourselves.
it yourself.
You understand?
I'm in love with my people. And I'm gonna stay in love with my people. And I'm gonna tell them when they're wrong. You know, a lot of women get mad with me because I tell women that they don't like being held accountable. I had a black woman get an argument the other day because I made a statement, you know what I'm saying, that she didn't want to hear me, she didn't like me make it. I said, black women, I love y'all, but y'all want the equality of a man, accountability of a child, and the responsibility the accountability to no one. And she got mad and said, you don't love black women. Your mama black. I said, my mama was black. I said, my mama dead. But I'm gonna tell you this much else. My mom was very adamant about holding you accountable for your mistakes, the things you did. And I'm just in that place in my life where I believe that we got to be 100% real with each other. We got to hold everybody accountable. Because I'm going to tell you something. Until we do that, it's still going to be off balance. Because black men, in the 80s, you know, when black men was on crack, selling crack and going to jail, and y'all talk about how black men was this, we took them L's. Didn't we take them L's? We took them L's. While black women was allowed to go to college and spend that dope dealer's money. Come on now. Let him stay in her apartment and come up. Oh, I'm the only one to know that. Huh? And he go to jail and she don't. And it is what it is. So I finally made the statement. You don't want to take your part of the blame. Nobody want to talk about what Shahrazad Ali said about when she wrote that book and she told the truth way back in 1990.
Yeah.
My daughter 31 now, and now guess what? Black men are out here, black women outnumber black men by 2 million and got over 800,000 more marriages. It ain't the problem. Where's the accountability come in? My daughter, I tell somebody, I said, I got 3 daughters. One married, one engaged, one said she don't want to be married. I said, hey, I can't get mad at you. I'm doing all right now. I said, but at the end of the day, I tell somebody at the end of the day, my daughter's got a daddy. My daughter's got a daddy. And y'all know this to be true. You touch one of my daughters, I'll make you go missing.
Oh, that's
I'm a protector. I'm a protector for a reason.
Yeah. I just was saying that yesterday to Tiffany. I said, let me tell you something. I got 2 sons, 13, 12. You know, she has her grandchildren, which they're my grandchildren. I said, if you mess with them, my freedom is over. There's no bail money. Because the damage I'm doing, no such thing as bail money. Mm-mm.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I got all granddaughters and 1 grandson. I will burn. Let me play something to y'all. I watched the police in New York City beat this kid in the street. I would burn that precinct to the ground to get to him.
That's a fact.
And I don't give a damn who he said. I would have burned that precinct to the ground to get to him.
No, that's a fact.
And the problem is, until black men get that mindset, we here. But we gotta here's where it gotta start. You gotta make sure that those gang members and the drug dealers out there know you're burned. They block to the ground to get to them too.
Oh yeah.
See, ain't no marching you off to jail if you shoot one of my kids or my grandkids. Nah. I'm gonna be sitting on the stoop with the police truck. Let me tell y'all something. Hold on, I need y'all to hear this. I made this statement right here. Y'all remember when R. Kelly, they said R. Kelly was touching all them little girls?
Yeah.
I said I'd have cut R. Kelly's head off and went down to the police station with it like this. I'd have walked up to the desk and said, excuse me, with his head like this. Excuse me, sir. I need to talk to somebody about this head. And walked over and sat across from the what's called and started talking to it.
Nate, Nate, you're not human. What is wrong with you, Nate?
Hey, y'all think it's a game? I start singing. I don't see nothing wrong.
With a little cat with a head cut on.
I'm telling you, I'd have walked in with it like this.
They said I don't see nothing wrong.
I'm dead serious. See, because it's too many of us waiting on somebody to come save us. I'm the salvation in my family. I'm the salvation in my home. You talking about who was it? Man told me he went by there and he couldn't get inside. And he was ready knocking on the door and they wouldn't let him in the studio. I said I'd have called one of my cousins. I said, go get me 2 5-gallon cans of kerosene, not gas, kerosene. 2 5-gallon cans of kerosene. And I'd have pulled kerosene to the back door. I'd have burnt the whole back door on fire. Set all the side windows on fire. I set the whole side of the house and back on fire. And I let everybody run out the front door that wasn't related to me. I'd have shot them.
Oh man, Nate.
Simple as that. See, the problem is we don't think no more. We don't have that warrior mentality no more. We so afraid to go. I go sit on death row. I go sit on death row and be reading. Waiting for my turn. Because the problem is, our ancestors, my grandmamas and granddads, they had no money, but they had so much courage. We got so much money and no courage. I don't want to lose my house. You don't own your house. You will never own your house. Your house owns you. Why you think people take out a 30-year mortgage on a house and take them 40 years to pay it off? Come on, man.
They missed that one, Nate.
No, so I look at boxing the way I look at life in life of old. Back in the day, we was who we was. Today, we what we is.
No regrets. So it's safe to say, Nate, you accomplished everything it is that you wanted to accomplish.
No,
man.
I didn't get to fight Marquez. I didn't get to fight Pacquiao. I didn't get to fight Mayweather. I wanted to fight it, and I still fight all of them right now. If they want to come out, I get in shape right now to fight them. Pacquiao can still get it too.
Okay, Nate.
Okay.
I feel that way. I feel that way today. I still put one of these bones on.
I mean, Nate, you willing to get in there and go toe to toe, man? Then
Tomorrow.
They gonna have to set something up for you, then, Nate. I mean, Tyson.
You hear Terry? You can hear Terry talk that trash to my. I still owe him a exhibition. I'm like, keep talking to turn to execution.
Great. I ain't messing with brother Nate.
JT, I don't know why they think I'm playing with him when I ain't playing with him, man. But no, I did what I had to do. My daughters are happy. My grandkids are happy. I live a good life, man. I have a great life. I love my family. I love my friends. I love all my albums. You know, I love my albums. I'm an album guy. I got thousands of albums.
Really? So what's your favorite writer? What's your favorite musician? Your singer?
It's hard, man. It's hard because my favorite rapper is a guy named Rakim. The GOAT.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, that's the greatest rapper of all time. Second greatest rapper of all time is a guy named DMX, and I'll tell you that tomorrow. You can put anybody else you want on that list, but those are my favorite 2 rappers of all time. As a matter of fact, my daughter, when DMX got sick, my daughters called me. I was on suicide watch. They know it's my first cousin on my daddy's side. That's a joke I tell. DMX walked me to the room, walked me to the ring most of my fight. I was totally torn down when he died. But I just love DMX, love Rakim. My favorite female singer, Jennifer Holliday, is one of them. I'm looking at her right now. I love Patti LaBelle. I love Aretha Franklin. I love Layla Hathaway. I love Lettuce. I love Jasmine Sullivan.
Okay.
I love Jasmine Sullivan. I love Fantasia. I love singers. My favorite male singers are easy. KC, Wanye from Boys and Men, any of the Boys and Men crew. My favorite gospel singer is a guy by the name of Marvin Winans. I grew up singing gospel music in the church. I grew up in the church. I don't follow any religion now, but I grew up as a minister of music. Also, I was a minister of music. So I went to college. And took on vocal music. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up. I wanted to be a singer. And a lot of people didn't know that. And I was a mezzo soprano, and my voice changed. And I was happy because I didn't have to go to the School of the Arts. I wanted to play basketball. They didn't have no basketball team. But they had a whole bunch of little boys over there kept saying, yes! And I didn't want to go to school over there because of that.
Underrated. You see why I can't talk?
I'm being real, man.
You see why this is what I had to go through. Being out there.
So how you got into boxing?
My uncle taught me some boxing basics when I was 5, but he taught me to fight as a southpaw. So I fought as a southpaw until I was 24 years old.
Wow.
And Frankie Menace turned me, time he realized I was a counterfeiter, and turned me right-handed and said, you better never turn back. And I never turned back. Taught me how to fight. Taught me how to box. Bang, bang. Taught me how to box.
So that actually answered the question that I noticed throughout your career when you fight southpaws, you ain't had no problem. You just knocking them out.
Because I know how to do. I know what a southpaw want to do.
Exactly. Because I remember you fought a southpaw one time, and you knocked him out. Now I forgot which round it was. The 34th round. You just went in and do.
I knocked Jane Alpha down like 4 or 5 times. She was out southpaw. I beat Kachas Mayor and gave him the fight. I just didn't have a problem with southpaws really. I never did.
Okay.
But for me, growing up in the situation I grew up in, being the poorest kid in the hood, I just didn't think. I was too dumb to know better. I was too dumb to know better. I was truly too dumb to know better.
Yeah.
You know.
But you did pretty good for yourself, because I can only imagine how many guys you came up with and went to school with that if they all alive today, they're put in bad positions where they might be strung out, homeless, dead, or in jail. Like, is there any time you sit back and think of any of that, or none of that face?
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I grew up watching some of the greatest athletes perish to the street. Had a friend named Tuki. My boy James Collins is the best basketball player people know about. And from Jacksonville. Me and James grew up, he was in Pampers. But the best basketball player to ever come out of the city died in the streets. His name was Tuki. He never got a chance to be anything. He couldn't read, but he could count. So the streets had it. I watched guys that could outrun a car. dead in jail. I know a guy, the one guy that made the most difference in my life was this guy, get his name. Never knew his name actually. He was a Spanish guy, black Spanish guy. He was mixed, black and Spanish, but you can tell he's from the hood. Let me tell you something, boy. Every time I see you out here running, baby. He said, I know you're gonna do something with yourself, but don't let this thing right here mess you up like it did me, this idiot off. Man was one of the best pitchers to ever come out of the country. But because of a bottle of liquor, he never threw a baseball any higher than semi-pro. Jessica, I watched him one day pick up a baseball, drunk as a skunk, and fired across the plate. I caught it. I couldn't even see the ball until it got right up on me. Drunk as a skunk. I'm talking about, you can smell it from the plate. He smelled like old liquor and ass.
Oh wow!
Watch me run and shadow box. I said, I never want to be him. I just never want to be him.
Explain to the people how important it is that when you get successful, when you get a certain amount of money where you're like, hey, I can afford now to move my mama out, my grandmama, whatever. But what I can't afford to do is when I want to come back to the hood to visit, I get caught up in the same shit that everybody else got caught up in that could have been just as successful as me.
I'm different. My mama wasn't leaving the hood. I had to buy my mama a house in the hood. I bought my mama a house in the hood on the outskirts of the hood and was putting it back together. And they tore my house down. One of a lesbian who was the code enforcement officer hated me. Tore my house down after I put $10,000 in floors in it.
Wow.
Tore it down. And my mama, and I finally sold that house a little bit ago, that property. Because my mama said, I went to the room over that motherfucker no how. Anybody know my mama know how she was. So I paid my mama bills, gave my mama money. But my mama wasn't moving out of the hood. She said, this is where I'm from. She said, you damn them crackers out there. That's the way she talked. She was the old school Southern girl. She said, damn them people, I ain't moving out there. I ain't moving out there. And she meant that. And so, let's ride, mama. Come on out to my house when you come to hang out. She come out to the house, put her feet in the pool, in the middle of Greenland. I like this show, it's nice. Where's my room? Upstairs. She go upstairs and see the room she was gonna sleep in. Say, all right, take me home now. Huh? You ain't gonna stay? Nope, I don't need to stay. I know where you at, you good. Take me home. You gonna give me some money? Yes, mama, help. And
wow.
My mama ain't care nothing about that. My mama didn't care nothing about that. My mama was hood to us. She was hood through and through. My mama died December 2nd, 2016. We had her funeral like December 8th. My mother's funeral was as big as mine. When I won the world title, my neighborhood threw me a party so big, a block party so big, the police had to come and found out it was for me. Said, oh man, have fun. That's how big my mama's wake was after the funeral. After the repast, we had a block party. We didn't have a how you have that dinner. People come by. No, bro, we had crabs, we had oysters, we had shrimp, and the big pots, and we played stage tournaments because that's what my mama liked. Had loud music booming. We partied till like 2:30 in the morning. We had a block party, and I'm talking about thousands of people. People from all and other states came to celebrate my mother's life. He was just
that's what I was
shit, man.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Besides the people from your neighborhood,
But
anybody who was boxing like you were professionally, did any of them come out?
yeah, a lot of my guys that was like fighters that I trained came out. None of the big fighters came out because I was, it's always so fast, that kind of thing. But everybody called me and checked on me, and Roy called me and checked on me. Roy called me and checked on me all throughout, man.
Mm.
And I know how to, and Alfie called me and checked on me, and it was painful, man. When you lose, when a fighter loses his mother, for me, I'm gonna say this. I became a grown man December 2nd, 2016. I was still a little kid. My dad died when I was 10. On my 10th birthday, March 7th, 1982, right?
Wow.
My mother died. I became a grown man. Ain't nobody to talk to no more. Who do I bounce shit off now? See, my mama, over the last 5 years of my life, my mother became my best friend. My mother, the woman that was a drug addict, a prostitute, an addict, you know what I'm saying? A fencer, a booster, became a great fucking grandmother. She became a great grandmother. Not a great grandmother as in great only, but she became a great grandmother and a great grandmother. My daughters made my mother a great granddaughter, great grandmother. She saw her grandkids have kids. The last picture of my mother is laying in the bed with her dentures out with my granddaughter. And me calling her from Thailand, poking fun. I said, how come the baby got more teeth than you? Go to hell, nigga. I got to see my mother live. My mother she lived longer than they said she would, and did more than they thought she could. And my mother was my friend. She became my deepest, my best confidant. She became that. Hey, I used to call my mother Chick. As a matter of fact, I'm laughing because I would call my mama and say, "Hey, Chick." She said, "What up, boo?" I said, "What you doing?" And we talk on the phone for hours. I'd be out of the country and I just talk to her over Facebook, on FaceTime, and we just laugh and we giggle. And we have a good time. She became my best friend, but she would still check me as a mother. And I miss that. I miss that. I miss it. I miss it every day. I miss it some days. I wake up in the morning and I want to roll over and call her, and I realize she ain't here no more.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Oh, go ahead, Clark.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, and another thing. This is why I try to tell the young kids, but even the people my age, how important it is for you to love, respect, and honor and cherish your mother. Because for me, I was 10 years old when I lost my biological mother, and when my father got remarried 10 years later, I lost my stepmother. So it was like 10 years apart. This is crazy, and I'm still sometime today. I'm still that 10-year-old little boy today sometime at 38 who still need his mama. Even though I had women, I have aunts that I say they're like my mother, but it's not the same. I'm still
Nothing like your mama.
That's not. Yeah.
My mom was like I said, my mom became my friend, man. She became, me and my mama did Sunday brunch. Every Sunday I took my mama to brunch. And she would always want to go to the same ragged ass place. I said it, Golden Corral. I would bitch, moan, and complain every Sunday. And she would, you don't tell me, you taking me to brunch. And my mama was hood. Nigga, you taking me to brunch. We going to Golden Corral. I said, Mama, I don't want to go over there. And she be like, well, I don't want to go. So one day I got in the car. Me and my mother looked just alike. Just alike. So I got in the car. And I'm going to show a picture of my mom. I got in the car, and I took her to this other place, and she loved it. But let's get this established. She still talked trash the whole way. Then she ate the food, and she loved it. And I told her, I said, Mom, stop acting like you don't like this food. And my mom was my girl.
Yeah.
She was my girl. She became my my mom.
Oh wow, beautiful.
Oh yeah.
I look just like my mom.
You sure do. Yeah. Yeah,
Look like
it's funny. It's funny you talk about that because I lost my mom's August 28th, 2019. So it's been going on 2 years. Nothing like it. You know what I mean?
Nothing like it.
you know what, Phil?
That's my mother and my middle daughter. And my daughter knows she is my mama favorite. She looks just like my mama. She's my mama favorite. And she reminds her sister I was grandmama's favorite. You petty, man.
Yeah.
And you just have to go through that. But for me, I had to go through all the changes in life to realize how much I love and adore my mother. So I tell guys all the time, fighters, man, we love our mothers. You know what I'm saying? We love our mothers. And man, my daddy was my best, but nobody talks about my dad because they don't understand. My dad was my best friend all my life. I'm masculine because of I'm a Corbin copy of my dad. I just look like my mom. I believe that a man should marry a woman and take care of a family, and even if he mess up, you got to keep doing what he's supposed to do. Because my dad taught me that. My grandfather, my mother's father, real men. I'm talking, they were men. I'm talking old school men.
Yeah.
I pay all the bills in my house. My wife don't pay no bills around here. Them kind of men.
Yeah. Let me put this out there. Anybody that wants to donate, my Cash App is $ capital JT 53000. Also at paypal.me / all in caps JT Black 53. Anybody that wants to donate, of course, that'd be greatly appreciated. Also, hit the like button and share this out. If you're new to the channel, hit the bell twice so you can keep whenever I come with the hot video and live like this one, you would get it first. We with our champion, the great Nate Campbell, and the one and only Clarence Mcclain of McClain's Production. Yours truly is #1 grinder. This is the special underrated boxing talk number 31.
But and just in case y'all want to know to find me, I do a podcast called the Lion Killer Podcast. You can look us up, the Lion Killer Podcast. Me and my man Adonis does do it. This is us here, Lion Killer Podcast. And
shout out to Lion Killer, man.
you can see us on we recap fights, we talk boxing. You know, we do our thing. I want you guys to come over, subscribe, and look, we don't just talk boxing. We get in trouble. We talk other stuff. Oof.
Yeah.
We might be we talked about the greatest westerns, and we came to the agreement that Unforgiven is the greatest western ever. It is. The second greatest western is Outlaw Josie Wells. He had to make that to make Unforgiven. So we oftentimes we joke and we tease about how much we are Corbin copies of one another when it comes to Adonis is like my little big brother. My big little brother, actually. And I laugh about it because dude, we love guns alike. We love a lot of the same stuff. He's a Texas boy. I'm a Florida boy. Our laws mirror each other. So I want you guys to come over and check us out. The Lion Killer Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
If you come up with a theme song, you'll love it.
Okay, but also, brother Nate, I want to get you back because I want to talk. I want me and you to talk. I want you to be my special guest. I want to talk about your career and go more deep into that. And so
Okay. Tell you what. I love you guys. I come over and talk about my career. I love y'all to come over to Lion Killer Podcast and let's do something. Let's cross pollinate, man, and let's get to each other pages and make the base bigger. Because our problem is we don't support each other, and I believe in supporting each other.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in support.
Hey, let me tell you.
I believe in support. I support.
tell you what Joey
I
told
believe in
me.
that too.
We was at the Hall of Fame. Shout out to T&K Promotions. You know what Joey told me? He said, man, I didn't get to thank you when I was on the podium, but you have been supporting me or supporting T&K Promotions. And mind you, I just met these guys just last year through social media. I've always supported them, and I made my second appearance. The thing is, we have to support. You have to support. It doesn't make no sense. I don't care if you're from Texas, Florida. If there's some way I could be there to support you, I'm gonna do it. The only thing I ask is for the same in return because
I'm all about support, man. If you called me today, I was leaving the gym. I told you let's do it. I was supposed to do another interview, but they didn't never call me, so I don't know what happened. But listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm finna get ready to go. I got to dip in the morning. I got a 5:30 client.
Okay.
He loves me. I gotta help him lose 60 pounds. I promise him I help him do it. So I'm gonna get up for him. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. I thank you guys for having me on. Thank you guys for supporting. I want you guys to understand something. We gotta start supporting media that looks like us. We gotta start supporting, even if we got different points of view. The only way that we can really grow is if we allow different points of view to become valid, where we can see a different point of view. Does that make sense? For me, I learned to be a better fighter when I learned there was another way to do it.
Yeah.
So for me, the greatest thing I ever did was listen to John David. And I'm gonna tell y'all this. I want y'all to go watch the Juan Diaz fight, the 6th round. John David Jackson told me one day I was in the gym, and John realized that I didn't throw a lead left uppercut. So he said, "Come on, we gonna work on this up." So I'm like, "Bang!" He said, "Double left uppercut." Bang, bang. I say, "Coach, I don't like throwing the lead. After I throw it, I'm like, I don't like throwing a left uppercut. I think it's dangerous." He said, "Okay, cool. Give me 2 more." So I go, bang, bang. He said, "Okay, that's good. I said, "Coach, I don't like throwing a lead left uppercut because I feel like I'm open." Okay. Do me a favor. Throw double uppercut and hook. Bang, bang, wow. I said, "Coach, that really feels uncomfortable to me." Yeah, man, yeah, I get it. Throw another double uppercut. I throw another double uppercut. He said, "Oh, good." And I throw 3 of them. Bang, bang, bang. And I finally stepped back and said, "You ain't paying me no attention." He said, "Oh, you caught that, right? You figured that out, right? You figured I don't give a damn about what you say." He said, I was in a place called Westminster Boxing in Westminster, California. I never forget it as long as there I live. And I looked at him, I'm like, "Really, bro?" He said, "Yeah, you need to have this in your arsenal." He said, "You got a beautiful uppercut with your right hand. You got a banging left uppercut, but you don't throw it because you're afraid to throw it." Anybody want to tell me what punch I hit Juan Diaz with to cut him wide open?
Shit, I don't even remember, Nate. I gotta go back.
I hit him with a left uppercut. I hit him with an inverted left uppercut. I turned it over like this. Lead left uppercut like this. Bang. Hit him, turned it, cut him open. If John David Jackson don't teach me that shot that day in Westminster, and if I don't get comfortable throwing it, do I win that fight the same way? We don't know. But because he taught me to do it and I did it the way I was supposed to do it, because he showed me another way to see something, I became world champion tonight. Thank y'all for having me, man.
Thank you. Hold on, Nate. I want to say one thing. Brother Ghost was in the chat. Brother Ghost, if you're still there, if you can hit Nate Campbell, he's on Facebook. And also, what YouTube channel is you on again, please?
The Lion Killer Podcast, The Lion Killer, Killa Podcast, and you can hit me up at Nat Turner Campbell. You already said that I was speaking up for my people. Nat Turner Campbell. I'm looking to get myself knocked off any day now. Nat Turner Campbell is my Facebook page. Hit me up. You guys, look, thank y'all so much. We said the same thing. Trick man knows. Yep. You better throw it then. It's a good shot.
Yeah.
But I tell you guys, thank y'all for having me, man. It's always an honor.
Thank you.
Clarence, I don't know when I'm coming to New York. When I come to New York, you gotta show y'all locked down too much, man. You gotta have a vaccine card to go to the bathroom. I might want to fill on somebody's daughter or something. Y'all gotta have a vaccine card for that.
Listen, if you don't come to New York, we have to link up in Philly. Philly has a couple of shows coming up.
Y'all know, Dylan is fighting July 31st down in Atlantic City.
Oh, he is?
Yes, Dylan. I'll be there.
Okay.
Oh, I gotta get to.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Damn, I might not be able to be there.
Well, you know,
I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. Tell you what. Listen. Thank y'all for having me. Let's talk, Clarence. Thank you so much, JT. Thank all the chat room, man. Y'all have been awesome. I gotta take a shower. Go to bed.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
Hit
that.
me up anytime, man. Hit me up anytime.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much.
All right, see, baby.
All right, thank you.
All right, so.
Oh, you're not entertained.
Now we're going to get into you, and you're going to tell us about who you met in the Hall of Fame before we close it out.
Some of the guys you heard Nate name, but Antonio Tarver, Riddick Bowe, Johnson. Oh man, the list goes on. Some of the people Nate have named, some of their names are not. But yeah, I met some legends, and it was an honor and a pleasure, and I didn't think that it would happen. And let me tell you something: you have an opportunity to do something great and be somewhere. Just remember something: it's not by accident. If you're somewhere, it's because you were placed there, and God put you there, and that's where you belong. Because if not, He wouldn't have put you in that. He would not put you in that position. You don't get put in positions that you're really not supposed to be in, unless you're being tested. But for me, it was an honor and a pleasure. I know there's Atlantic City Hall of Fame coming up August 20th. I'm going to try my best to make that one if it's possible. But if not, hey, I'll be back. I'll be back to St. Pete next June.
Okay. Hold that thought 1 second. The Ghost said, any brothers boxing in New York, you look at legendary Trickman Norris.
Who?
The Ghost. That's my brother Ghost.
He said,
who? Brother the Ghost. That's a good brother right there. He was there for our community. He said he look at the legendary Trickman Norris.
I don't know. I had to look that up. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, and brother, thanks for the contribution. And I want you to go support my brother JSP OG. Always had excellent information to inspire us as a people. And very much appreciated. And also I want y'all to go check out McClain Entertainment Network. That's his YouTube channel. Also, on Facebook is Timothy McClain. I want you to go check him out and everything. And brother McClain, don't be a stranger, because I want us to do something too very soon. And McClain, give him a combination. Give him a combination. Oh, give me 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2. You're out. Uppercut. You out. Can't catch you in the uppercut. You sleeping. All right. Last remarks, please.
Shout out to the panel. I want to say shout out to my brother Nate Campbell for coming on here.
Yes.
More time than I thought he was going to take. I wasn't expecting him to be so long, but he took the time to share stories with us. So Nate, I appreciate you and I love you, man. That's the brother I'm going to love to the end of time. It was an honor and pleasure. I'm just glad to, like I said, I'm fresh off the Hall of Fame. I'm just blessed, man. I do want to give a couple of shout outs.
Go ahead.
I just want to give a shout out to T&K Promotions. I want to give a shout out to Mary Alexander, her husband, Bob Alexander, Tito, Joey, all the fighters that have fought on that card, that everybody I hooked up with and took a picture with. Hey man, I love every single last one of y'all, man. Let me tell you something. I never thought outside of New York, besides Alabama, I would have family that I can kick it with in Florida. It's a beautiful thing, man. And like I said, man, I'll be back next year.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I want to stay right there. I dug out two earlier. I did the men's part after Father's Fly, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hit y'all with the Underrated Boxing Talk number 30. That was like 4 o'clock. Clarence Mcclain was on there. And then brother TS Boxing was on there. Then I hit you with the exclusive. Now Nate Campbell came on here. Brother Clarence did not tell me about this. He said it was a surprise.
Ow.
And so when he came with the surprise, I said, "Whoa!" So we have our champion, the great Nate Campbell, came in here, and I think he's supposed to did a podcast with Killer, but I guess they wait another time to do it and stuff.
Yeah.
So you gonna see us over there at times, but I want y'all to keep on supporting this channel. Still gonna be talking boxing. I will bring back MMA, God's willing, back Sunday, and most likely I will do some boxing this weekend. God's permit and everything. I want you to watch out for that. Also, I'm going to do the mukbang because I bought a sandwich back from New York, and I'm going to get me a sandwich from out here from Wawa, and we're going to compare it and we're going to have fun. So the number one grinder got some stuff lined up for this week coming up throughout the weekend. So I want y'all to come out and participate. I want y'all to, if I put the link out, I want y'all to come. I want y'all to have fun. And then at the same time, I'm still gonna do my usual men's talk. That's not gonna change. And we're gonna show some fair. Oh yeah, also Brother Ebo Sosa, the one was in the chat earlier. I supposed to go do a follow-up chop up with them, him and his wife, so watch out for that. So I got some good stuff coming for you all, God permit. So on behalf of my channel, the Underrated Docs, yours true, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube, the best in the business. Nobody don't grind like me. I grind, I don't stop. Thank you again, my brother Clarence Mcclain of Mcclain Productions. Thank you so much. And again, thank you, brother Nat Turner Campbell. Appreciate that. And welcome to the family. And everybody else that came in the chat, thank you, brother Ghost. Again, I'm humble for the contribution. I am very humble. Thank you so much. And I want y'all to go and sub to each other in the chat and participate. Sub to each other and participate. Let's keep it in the family. Let's encourage each other in the family. So on behalf of my channel, everybody else, until next time, good night. This is the end of the special Underrated Boxing Talk number 31, and this one is post.
Peace.